Who's your real-life superhero? My neighbor Mrs. Chen, who I thought was just a quiet, elderly lady who fed stray cats, turned out to be secretly running an underground network that saved hundreds of women and children from domestic violence over 20 years. I moved into my apartment 3 years ago and barely noticed Mrs. Chen at first. She was this tiny woman in her 70s who kept to herself, spoke broken English, and seemed to spend most of her time feeding cats in the alley behind our building. I figured she was just a lonely old lady with too much time on her hands. What I didn't know was that Mrs. Chen had been using her apartment as a safe house for women and children escaping abusive situations. She'd converted her spare bedroom into a temporary shelter, complete with extra clothes, food, and burner phones for emergencies. The truth came out when I heard crying through my wall one night around 2 a.m. I was worried someone was hurt, so I knocked on Mrs. Chen's door to check if everything was okay. She answered looking nervous, but behind her I could see a young woman holding a toddler, both with bruises on their faces. Mrs. Chen quickly explained that this was her niece visiting from out of town, but the woman stepped forward and said she needed to tell someone the truth. She'd been hiding from her violent ex-husband for 3 days, and Mrs. Chen was the only person willing to help her. That's when I learned about Mrs. Chen's secret life. For over 20 years, she'd been part of an informal network of immigrant women who helped domestic violence victims disappear safely. They'd provide temporary housing, help with legal paperwork, and even arrange transportation to other cities when necessary. Mrs. Chen's broken English wasn't from lack of education. She spoke 5 languages fluently and had been a social worker in China before immigrating. She used her harmless appearance to fly under the radar while coordinating rescues and safe house operations across 3 states. The cats weren't just strays she was feeding. She used them as an early warning system. When dangerous ex-partners came looking for their victims, the cats would scatter, alerting Mrs. Chen that someone threatening was nearby. She'd trained them to respond to specific people approaching the building. Over the next few months, I learned the full scope of her operation. Mrs. Chen had personally helped over 400 women and children escape dangerous situations. She'd never asked for money or recognition, just used her pension and savings to fund her rescue network. What amazed me most was how she'd managed to keep it secret for so long. She deliberately cultivated the image of a harmless cat lady so no one would suspect her apartment was actually a strategic safe house location with multiple escape routes and security measures. She'd even installed a hidden basement entrance through her bedroom closet that connected to the building's old service tunnels. Women could come and go without being seen by neighbors or anyone watching the main entrances. The whole operation was more sophisticated than anything I'd seen in movies. Mrs. Chen had contacts everywhere: social workers, lawyers, cab drivers, even police officers who would look the other way when necessary. She'd built this network over decades, one favor at a time, always helping others without expecting anything in return. When I offered to help, Mrs. Chen taught me that real heroism isn't about superpowers or recognition. It's about seeing suffering and choosing to act, even when no one will ever know what you've done. She showed me that the most powerful people are often the ones who appear powerless. Now I help with her network, and we've expanded to help with immigration issues and human trafficking cases. Mrs. Chen is 80 now, but she's still saving lives every day from her little apartment behind the cat alley.